As Australia celebrated legalising same-sex marriage yesterday, one man can finally marry his partner of 39 years. Neville Wills and his partner Ian Fenwick first met at a luncheon in Beverly Hills in 1978. What makes their ability to now marry even more special is that Neville is 98 years old and Ian is 74. Neville never thought he'd live long enough to be able to marry the man he loves. We called Neville Wills to talk marriage plans, and amidst the excitement we got cut off, so we called back. Mr. Wills, it's John Campbell from Radio New Zealand. Can you hear me?
Is that you, John?
It is. How are you?
I don't know what you're doing with your electronics, but...
Look, it's the modern world.
There you are, yes. I'm pre-digital myself.
you and me both. I'll tell you what, though, the modern world may confound us electronically, but it's pretty wonderful you can get married in it, isn't it?
Well, I've just had a call from London, would you believe?
What did London want?
Buckingham Palace. I want to hear about the... Well, we haven't... We didn't make... We're busy. We know where we're going to be married. We have friends at Downing Point who have been recently married themselves, and they've made their beautiful apartment available to us. It'll be in January, of course.
Yes. Can you take me back to 1978? 1978, yeah. When you two met and fell in love. Would you, in your wildest dreams, have imagined that one day you would get married?
Never. We were both lonely men. I'd taken care of a mother who was a deserted mother, and she had to have care until her death. But that kept me busy, and she died. But Ian came along, and I came along, and he was lonely, living in Sydney on his own, and I was living in Greenwich on my own. And so we just saw each other and said, this is where it starts.
I'm going to ask you personal questions. You don't have to answer them because we've only just met, so it's bloody cheeky of me. But at first, were you out? Were you a couple from the start, or did you keep that secret?
We kept it secret. We had to. I was at the university. I'm retired as a professor emeritus, but I was at the university, had a busy job, important job. I launched the MBA in this country. The first MBA came from my school in 1966. So there you are. We had to keep it dark. You just had to live with it and pretend, an awful life of pretense. But I think it makes you a stronger person. It makes you more ambitious. You want to succeed. You have a desire to succeed, which may exceed the ordinary because you're hiding this difference, even from your own family.
Mm.
Of course, my mother knew, but she could never face it. None of the family could face it. I was just the unmarried son, the unmarried brother, confirmed bachelor, all that stuff.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Mm.
And so you...
So it's a wonderful moment here in Sydney, but in your country, which is so much ahead of this one, this is a poor backward country. I think it goes back to the convict era, but New Zealand has always been a place that I've admired and gone there as often as we could. We love it. You're fortunate to live in a country like that.
Yes.
Ours isn't too bad, but it's got all these troglodytes,
Let's talk about you and Ian. So you were 98. Do you think, are you such a singular and tenacious romantic that actually the idea that you might be able to get married to Ian has kept you going?
No, John. Ian has kept me going by looking after me. I've been a semi-invalid for years, but Ian just keeps me going. I'm in a wheelchair because I have bad legs, and we're going out for lunch today. But it's because Ian is beside me and with me that I'm alive. I'd have been dead otherwise.
Isn't it terrible to reflect on the fact that two men who love each other that much and care for each other that much had to live secret lives, dark lives,
well, of course,
you said?
But I think there are many. Look at Ian Thorpe, our swimmer. Have you heard of him?
Of course, yes.
He would know, a gold medal man and the world swimmer and Olympics. He's had to do it. Many people have had to do it. Our local member, Trent Zimmerman, who's been a great friend of ours, he's gay and he's had to keep it. Wherever you look, you find people who have been in the same boat as us. And it's been terribly unkind. And it comes, of course, the Christian Church has a lot to answer. It's always preached against homosexuality. Rome, of course, and Canterbury follows. Not your Canterbury. But the church has been a great impediment. Bigotry, you know. Henry VIII closed the monasteries because there was so much buggery going on. It all started long ago. So I think the Christians have led us down a garden path. I'm sorry, I'm not an atheist. I'm a wonder what sort of person. But it hasn't helped, has it? You know. But this will stop from tomorrow.
Congratulations. It was such a treat to talk to you, and I know everyone was listening.
What are you going to do with this?
We're going to put it to air. You're going to go to air. You just said buggery on Radio New Zealand. People, there will
country.
Yes. People, there will have been 2 or 3 people will have spontaneously combusted when they heard that word. We won't have them as listeners any longer.
Cause a riot. I don't want any riots in Rotorua.
Oh,
John,
tremendous. What a treat to talk to you. I hope you and Ian have a beautiful wedding day there on Darling Point.
We spent our honeymoon in Auckland.
Yeah.
We love Auckland.
Yeah, well, we'd love to see you.
We'll let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Neville Wills, 98, and getting married to his man Ian. They've been together for 39 years.